So this series of videos, which I'm calling Off the Shelf, is really just that. In a just a way to pull some items from the collection, lay them out, talk about them, look them over, and in the process, talk about the hobby. A lot of odds and ends things that aren't related to games I plan on playing or games that I am playing or have played. Yeah, so this is much more free-flowing. Um, yeah, really to primarily talk about all things related to the hobby. Um, Henry V, 4 battles from the Hundred Years' War, 3W, 1993, Rob Markham. Got this just a few weeks ago, and very excited to have this in my collection now because I believe this completes my Markham Royalists and Roundheads series collection. I believe I have them all now, and this was the last one. And first one was Royalists and Roundheads 3. And Royalists and Roundheads 3 is a game that I think of, anyways, as being one of those games, one of a handful of games that brought me back into the hobby several years ago. Completely by chance, this game. This game, Royalists and Roundheads 3, served that purpose was completely by chance. It was one of a handful of games tucked away, forgotten in the back of a hobby store that I found and bought it. Not even sure why. Actually, no. I guess I probably bought it because it reminded me of the SPI 30 Years War folio games that I have fond memories of from many years back. So actually, I think as Royalists and Roundheads 3 made me think of those games, and I thought, hey, if this game is anything like those, it might be at least. I think at the time I thought it would just be interesting to have a little bit of nostalgia and then, forget it, move on. But anyways, so that was the beginning, or near the beginning of getting back into the hobby, and that was the start of what what became this long process of collecting all these games that use this similar rules set. So this Henry V, great condition. I was amazed that a game like this, that there's a game like this still in such good condition after all these years. So this one has Agincourt, Patay, Formigny, and Castillon. So we're talking, first half of the 15th century. Very standard. All these games are 4 battle quads. Yeah, I opened this box up and was amazed at the condition that it's in. I don't think this has got to be the best condition game in this series that I've found. Pristine rules. These charts have obviously never been used, but they're even still discolored a bit, only from age, but not from use. Demoralization levels, ammunition record sheet. English ammunition record sheet. Unpunched, obviously unpunched counters in very nice condition. This one has, as a matter of fact, this one has, let me look at the back. This one has, yeah, this one even has, not only is this unpunched, unplayed, excellent condition, this one even has probably the best die cutting of all my games in this series. Just as, you know, almost perfect die cutting. So very nice. Has the, I mean, this was the point in the series where we had gotten to multicolor. I was about to say full color, and not full color, but multicolor icon counters. Little drawing portraits of leaders. Some of the other games, I'm assuming they're earlier, have, you know, generic shields or some other type of icon to indicate leaders. But here they have, okay, these are generic leader icons, but still nice. You know, I was thinking about this style of counter. You know, nothing compared to GMT today, to be sure, but these little icon figures do well enough. They do well enough. They can instantly convey the game information that they need to, and it's still, you know, nice to look at. You know, these types of counters on the map sheet. You know, bowmen, and, you know, was he men-at-arms, infantry. So yeah, they serve well enough. They serve the purpose. Here are the command. No, here attack, stand, advance, retreat. These are the order counters. Different each formation. So in this series, your armies on each side in each battle made up of a number of formations. We're talking 3 to 6 or 7 formations. Each formation gets a an attack or an order counter. There are rules for trying to change the orders from turn to turn, rolling against leader abilities. Oh yeah, these are. There are two sheets here. So you do have, I should say, in this series you do get a counter set for each side in each battle. I don't think there's any reusing of counters for more than one battle. But then again, just to give you an idea of the series, each side, like I said, 3 to 6 average formation, number of formations as I recall, and so your counter density in all these games is low. So, you know, your army could be made up of anywhere from as low as 40 up to maybe 60 counters. Not bad at all. And again, unused map. This is later when the map quality was a lot better for this series. Some of the earlier games have some pretty very rough looking maps, but of course by today's standards, I mean, this still looks dated. This looks like, I don't know, standard early 90s magazine game quality maps. But again, they work well enough, and they're, well, let's just say they're definitely evocative of the time. got a, along with mine, I got an article from Fire and Movement, number 97, 1994. So a nice article on the game. Trying to figure out if this is this a review or just an overview. Okay, they give it a grade, B minus. Doesn't sound outrageous. Yeah. So a 1, 2, 3 page review. Terrain effects chart. That's another copy of the same. This one, same. It's a copy of the same player aid card. And this is not in any way. This is not meant to be an unboxing, not meant to be a review. Just actually, I'm happy that I have a complete set now of this series. As of right now, I think I like, game mechanics wise, I do think I like Age of Chivalry best. If you don't know, the rules for this series, and really series is a word that is to be used very lightly with these. Oh, how many? We're talking 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 or 12 games, maybe 13 altogether, something like that. Yeah, series is a term to be used very lightly for this group of games. The rules were always changing with each game. Yeah, so the rules for each game bounced around using a different combination of dice mechanics, step levels, morale, rolling for morale before melee, or not rolling against morale before melee. So there are many different changes to the rules as it went through each incarnation, and Age of Chivalry seems to get it right. Nice balance there. Right here, okay, so Robert Markham, yeah, has very short, very brief design notes section in the back of these rules. And I'm not just going to say it's nice, the good old days when war games came with a bibliography, but I mean, these are Charles Oman, The Art of War in the Middle Ages. I mean, this is a classic. Hans Delbruck, Medieval Warfare. Again, a classic by a pioneer of modern military history. So the idea that games used to be explicit about their roots in military history is something that's nice to go back and see, and it would be nice if we could see more of that these days. I'm especially thinking about that, or this idea, because I just started looking deeper into 1807, the Eagles Turn East, Campaigns of Napoleon series by Zucker. I mean, those games, as you'll recall, as many of you will recall, I mean, those come with full-blown studies folders. So those games come with a, I don't know, 10, 15 page, 20 page historical booklet. Yeah, just nice to see. And all right, I'm not going to talk about it now. Maybe I'll get to it at another time. But the idea that gamers have Wikipedia at their fingertips is not, well, that's not what I'm thinking of. I mean, Charles Oman is not comparable to Wikipedia. But anyways, I said I wasn't going to go into that now. Maybe I'll go into that another time later. But yeah, so I don't know when I'll get to this. I just finished several games from Age of Chivalry. But when I get a urge to dive into another early modern, late Middle Ages battle level game, I'll probably break this one out and probably look at not Agincourt, but these other three games. Yeah. In no particular order at all. Europa, the magazine. I think this is the first Europa magazine that I got my hands on not too long ago at all. I think I've gotten my hands on a few more. Obviously, the in-house, where is it? GRD. Is that correct? Yeah, GRD. The in-house GRD publication that supported the Europa system, the official magazine of the Europa system. And while I'm mentioning the Europa system, I am wondering about this new system. Gee, what was it called? It's I think it's a UK company. The Second World War series. Anyways, looks like somebody's trying to do something similar to Europa again with modern design or to modern design standards. And I should take a look at that actually. But I mean, I should take a look at that. But then again, you know, I've just started exploring the huge world that was Europa. I've got Case White, I've got Narvik, and I've got the Western Desert or Western Desert. I chose those because those are the campaigns that I'm most interested in. I'm not interested equally in all of the different campaigns that they published for Europa, but those are definitely my most favorite. If I get a couple more, it'll probably be the Fall of France game and probably the Balkan game in the Europa series. So, yes, kind of funny to see these old ads. Genie. Talking about telephone modems. Anyways, main reason why I got this, of course, is the cover, which is all I could see when I ordered this. Kazarine Crisis, a Europa battle scenario. But then it came with all this other interesting stuff to read about. Dated, though it clearly all is. It's interesting. Mentioning stuff about Narvik. Yeah, Merida Mercur was the Balkan game that if I buy any more, I'll take a look at. Hints on play. So this is Western Desert, which I have. I like this idea. Haven't done it yet, but I like this idea of setting up the counters as described in this article and moving the pieces through while reading all of the gameplay remarks here. Facts behind the counters. Pretty neat idea. All these shortened versions that I guess you find in the games, and the full version, the full text for what they stand for. Good historical tidbits, pages and pages of it, by the way. But nice little historical tidbits that can give you ideas for stuff to look into in more detail. Midnight at the Oasis. Showdown in the Balkans, Merida Mercur strategy. So writing in, again, 1990. Merida Mercur is one of the best Europa games. It has the smallest map area, meaning you don't need a den to set up the game. It has relatively low counter crush compared to some other Europa games. It has armies and navies from over 8 countries, which lend the game color. It is superb for introducing people to the Europa system because the game starts with few units on each side, few aircraft, and virtually no armor effects. Interesting. But it's a fascinating strategic situation. Goes through the victory condition, discussion of victory conditions, the armies, the Italo-Greek War, German onslaught, the Greek Air Force at war, so Kasserine Crisis, a Europa battle scenario for Torch. Actually, I forgot about Torch. I'm curious about that one as well. Game chart, Kasserine Crisis Allied game chart. French Morocco, Libyan Air Base 1 and 2, Gibraltar, maybe replacements, air units, British air units, order of appearance, Allied order of appearance, Axis order of appearance, Italian, German, Luftwaffe, victory conditions chart, for Kazarene Crisis. Kazarene Crisis Axis game chart. Okay, replacements. Air units, Malta table, air conversions. Bibliography. Scorched Earth, play balance. Touring the Europa seashore. A discussion of Finland and the surrounding area as shown on these Europa maps. Misplotted cities. Finnish rail lines. Additional Finnish rivers. Finnish lakes. Ahvenanmaan Islands. Additional Finnish islands. Map overlap problems. Lake crossings. Still marching. Unanswered questions of World War II. The Stalin Peace Initiative of 1941. Rules Court. Rules questions and answers. So Merida Mercure. War in the Desert. Europa Basic Concepts. Soviet off-map MD chart. Exchange. Okay, letters. Europa Fest 2 progress report. Okay. Origins 90, Atlanta. Okay. I'll wrap this one up here.